Green nightmares and another coup in Africa. It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert. Please follow us online. You can get to us through Telegram. We've got a new 5 in 10 Telegram channel there. If you don't have the Telegram app, t.me/5 in 10. Of course, YouTube, the address there at 5 in 10. If you would, please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button. And, of course, on X, our address there at 5_in_10. Item number 5 today, Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodomyr Zelensky. Now, the latest to reject a President Trump peace plan. It was Hamas yesterday. Today, Ukraine told a meeting of European leaders, the so-called Coalition of the Willing, that he will not accept any territorial concessions as part of a peace deal. This was at a meeting Monday in London. He said that we are not going to give up any of the Donbass, basically, in an interview with Bloomberg News. But that is key to the U.S. peace proposal to Moscow, to the Russians. Russia already has the upper hand militarily. They own, because of conquest now, the eastern part of Ukraine, the Donbass, plus the Crimean Peninsula. So Russia at this point doesn't see any need to compromise on that score because they've already got it. And again, the people who live in that eastern part of the country are ethnic Russians, which is why back in 2014, they voted to secede from Ukraine. And when the Ukrainians continued to pound them militarily to get them to rejoin the nation, that's when Russia invaded a couple of years ago. Anyway, not defending Vladimir Putin or anything like that. It's just this is what the backstory that the media here in the United States doesn't usually portray. The fact is, Zelensky's going to have to give if he wants the war to end. President Trump has declared that if Zelensky rejects the plan, he's going to cut off aid and just let Ukraine fight Russia by itself. Now, he probably will continue to sell U.S. weapons to Europe, let Europe then send those weapons on to Ukraine, but it may mean the end of U.S. intelligence sharing, and that, of course, would mean no more targeting of U.S.-made missiles. So a significant development there. If Zelensky wants peace, he's going to have to give up some territory, but his backers in Europe appear not to be willing to make that concession. Item number 4 today, Mali. This is a country in the western part of Africa. I'll put a map up on the screen here so you can see where it is relative to the rest of the continent. Mali is the latest nation in what's called the so-called coup belt of Africa, a string of countries running from west to east across Africa, roughly the Sahara and just the area just to the south of the Sahara. Mali had 2 coups so far since 2020, one in 2020 and the other one in 21. Chad and Guinea and Sudan all in 2021, 2 in Burkina Faso in 2022, Niger and Gabon in 2023. Niger and Sudan saw attempted coups in 2021, Guinea-Bissau, the Gambia in 22, Sudan, Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso in 23. The fighting there in these nations, generally over resources or over their military's dissatisfaction with the government and the government's response to Islamic insurgents. So for whatever reason, this region is turning into just a belt of nations that cannot maintain a stable government. And in some of these cases, for example, in Mali, it is almost becoming a proxy war between Ukraine and Russia. The Wagner Group, active in Mali, Ukraine claimed last July of 2024, that its intelligence services were behind a battle with Wagner troops that led to heavy losses for the Russians. Now, on the situation in Mali, the U.S. State Department is basically warning American citizens to leave the country or not to travel there. They said if you're thinking of visiting Mali, and I'm not quite sure why anyone would unless you had business dealings there or family there, not to go. Those in the country should depart immediately. That's according to the U.S. State Department. So this is looking like a situation where an al-Qaeda linked group is on the verge of taking over the country. And again, that would mean things would not be safe for Western citizens like Americans. Item number 3 today, Nigeria, which is also in that region, members of a church were attacked there Sunday during services. The pastor was abducted, his wife, and several members of the congregation. This is according to a persecution watchdog group, International Christian Concern. They said that the new Cherubim and Seraphim Church in Ajiba, which is in Kogi State in Nigeria, they had just gathered for worship when Islamic gunmen entered and again took the pastor, his wife, and several members of the congregation. The number of abducted not yet confirmed, but according to data since 2014, more than 20,000 Christians have been abducted by Islamic militants there. And of course, you remember the story from earlier in November, at least 303 school children and 12 of their teachers attacked and abducted from St. Mary's Catholic School on November 21st. 50 children have escaped. The Christian Association of Nigeria says a total of 100 school children were just released, but it's not clear what circumstances led to their release. Nigeria and many other places in Africa, not safe for Christians now. And again, their stories not often reported by the corporate media because it doesn't quite fit the narrative. Item number 2, green nightmare. Apparently, it's becoming obvious that you can either have cheap, dependable electricity to encourage economic growth, or you can have a grid supported by wind and solar power. Now, Europe chose the latter. The United States, yes, we're building a lot of wind and solar, generating stations, but we still got a lot of coal plants, and we're planning a lot of nuclear plants now to handle the explosion in data center construction. But as a result of Europe's decision to go for the green instead of economic growth, Germany now has the highest domestic electricity prices in the developed world, and the United Kingdom is the highest industrial electrical rates. This is not a recipe for a healthy economy. Europe has basically excluded itself from the boom in data center construction and basically artificial intelligence, which here in the United States, as we've talked previously, has accounted for something like 40% of the gains in the stock market here in 2025. But again, there are those who are saying that this is a bubble that's about to burst. Anyway, European customers paying literally for the decisions of their lawmakers in trying to pursue this dream of zero carbon emissions, while at the same time India and China are building coal plants at a record rate. And here in the United States, we're putting more of them back online as it becomes obvious that you can either have an economy or you can have green energy. Coming up, tech billionaires wanting to leave the world behind, but they've got to build the new one first. I will explain next on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that Skywatch TV is a viewer-supported ministry, and right now when you order the new book, Thomas Horn, The Early Years, which features both complete original works, The Gods Who Walk Among Us, and Spiritual Warfare, The Invisible Invasion from the SkywatchTVStore.com, we're going to send it to you as our gift for your donation of only $25 or more, which includes free shipping to all U.S. addresses. But right now, and just in time for the holidays, you have an opportunity to upgrade your gift to include the entire Dr. Thomas Horn Definitive Skywatch TV collection that features the complete anthology of all of his greatest television series on 8 DVDs. That's 96 episodes, including the very first pilot of Skywatch TV ever, and has a running time of 45 hours. But this special upgrade also includes Dr. Thomas Horn's Rome and the Star God DVD that reveals the Faustian deal with the devil that has been made between the Vatican and our, quote, alien brothers as the world awaits the arrival of who they refer to as the Star God. Also included in this special upgrade are both volumes of the Skywatch TV Classics audio series on MP3 audio CD. This incredible, nearly 30-hour collection features 6 of Dr. Thomas Horn's all-time, most listened to audio series ever, including Something Transhuman This Way Comes, The Coming Replacement Humans, As It Was in the Days of Noah, Conspiracy Theory Special Edition, The Coming Zombie Apocalypse, and Psychotronic Warfare. All of these amazing original works sold separately hold a retail value of nearly $300. Yours now for your donation of only $69.99 or more, which again includes free shipping to all U.S. addresses. Once again, your support helps Skywatch TV continue reaching the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the book Thomas Horn, The Early Years, and or Thomas Horn, The Early Years with Special Upgrade Legacy Collection right now.
Item number 1 today, the billionaire's promised land. Still being constructed, apparently. There are a number of them who are just unhappy with the way the governments of the world are treating them. Especially there are some here in the United States who are trying to leave what they consider to be a failing nation. That is, I think, driven by their opinion of the president at the moment. There is a gentleman in Singapore, the former Coinbase chief technology officer, Balaji Srinivasan, sharing his vision for the ultimate exit from the failing United States. They are trying to create startup societies, a pro-corporate, anti-government coalition of tech magnates, libertarian idealists, and neoliberal economic theorists. In other words, they're trying to create a utopian society that doesn't involve welders, machinists, trash collectors, and they just want to hang out with other people like them. The movement is growing. There are about 120 startup societies throughout the world, but many of them are actual ghost towns. They're building these places that only the wealthy can afford, and the wealthy are finding there's nothing here. We're just going to stay where we're at. So here's the thing that puzzles me. Can you imagine being that wealthy and that unhappy? That money is the root of all kinds of evil, and it clearly is not a solution to the things that make us miserable. When money is no longer a problem, we find things, apparently, that make us unhappy. Unless we've got, a little bit of Holy Spirit in here, and then you can be happy in any circumstance. This week on Skywatch TV, Tom Horn is the subject. Of course, the late Dr. Tom Horn passed just 2 years ago. And the world just seems different without Tom in it. Those of us who were blessed to work with him, and of course his family, who are on the panel for the discussion this week, will talk about Tom in his early years. He was way ahead of us when it came to, say, the divine council stuff and artificial intelligence, transhumanism. Tom was talking about this decades ago. And a couple of his early books, which have been out of print for years, are now back in a 2-book, it's a volume that contains both The Gods Who Walk Among Us and Spiritual Warfare, The Invisible Invasion. Now available from Defender Publishing. You can see the program right now, hear from family members, Joe Horn, Donna Howell, Nita Horn, Sharon and I, honored to sit on the panel and discuss the things that we learned from Tom. You can watch the program now at skywatchtv.com. All of our content is there at the website. You can also watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, speaking of channels, you can add the Skywatch TV channel to your smart TV or set-top box. We're talking Google TV, Android TV, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV. We got apps for all of those. Go to the App Store that's right for your device or smart TV, add the Skywatch TV channel, and then you'll get all of our video content, these daily news updates, the main program, the Donna Howell Show, and more. And we'll be there whenever you click that remote. YouTube.com/@Skywatch Television. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button. Rumble.com/Skywatch TV, or download our free mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. Brings all of our content right into your device. And we've got apps for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. Links to those app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. Again, 5 and 10 is online. Telegram, find the Skywatch, the 5 and 10 channel there. Again, t.me/5 and 10. YouTube.com/@5 in 10. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button. And X @5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.